It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And off we go from Denver. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Colts heading out for the first time behind their 22-year-old quarterback in his second season now in the NFL, Anthony Richardson.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
And their coach told us the other day that they wanted to get him in a nice groove right out of the gate. And one way to do that, give him quick throws where he can get the ball out of his hand in a hurry, as he did there.
Second down and 3. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And Taylor going to pick up the Colts' first down as he gets this up past the 40.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Richardson. A short one there, caught by Granson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This second and 4. Richardson looking to throw. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Running left, Taylor. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
2 yards to go, second down. They go play action with Richardson. This one completes Alec Pierce. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Richardson off the play fake. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence. It allows them to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down.
And Richardson looks to throw once more.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll run here with Taylor.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Here's Taylor again.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor
taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Colts get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So now here are the Broncos to take over on offense, led out by their rookie quarterback, drafted 12th overall, Bo Nix out of Oregon.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment, running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Nix to the air.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Throwing Nix.
Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
The leading rusher in NCAA history from Youngstown State. Here's Jaleel McLaughlin.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They run for the first time with Javonte Williams.
And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
To throw, here's Nix.
Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Now it's Nix. That's into the hands of McLaughlin.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He will push his way down to about the 14. Tackle made by Grover Stewart.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And that's going to be incomplete.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Here's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Williams diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows his versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Lutz with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
A solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Richardson is going to keep it running right.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, he'd had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here's the option.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Here's Richardson to throw. That one finds Pierce right side.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 19. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
This will be taken in by Michael Pittman.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. They're going right back to Pittman.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
And now a stoppage, and it looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Gay knocks this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around. If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
To throw is Nix. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
That's taken in by Franklin.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
The give is to McLaughlin.
And some room to maneuver.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
In motion left goes Sutton. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get him.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And he missed it. It's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Richardson. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Richardson looking to throw this. Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Now it's Richardson.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt.
And Marvin Mims deep for Denver.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down and a yard.
They run it again with Williams. Shrugs him off, and they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
They're throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams.
And he's going to have a Broncos 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Looking to throw. Nix. Flush to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Quickly into the hands of Mims.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Here's a 2nd and 5. In motion right goes Sutton. They'll fake the jet sweep and instead give up the middle to Williams.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. And give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
Williams will score. Touchdown, Broncos. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
And they run the option on second down.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
His throw incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This time they stay on the ground, and they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
And the Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here, 1st and 10.
Richardson.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Mitchell. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be second down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
It was former Tar Heel Javonte Williams with a solid first half. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
They start the second half here with Williams. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
Now a give up the middle to Williams.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up second down. Nix from the shotgun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Nix. And that will be incomplete. That one broken up by David Long on the defensive end.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Now here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Taylor.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 5. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right.
And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. Down the numbers. There he goes. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
From the shotgun, Richardson.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DJ Jones able to drop him for a loss of a couple. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And he's got Pierce. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire 4th remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
First and 10, Taylor now. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down and 7. Again, it's Taylor.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Richardson looking to throw.
And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
The Broncos offense and Javonte Williams head out for this next drive. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
From the 20, here's a 2nd and 4.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Third and 2.
They'll hand it off now, Williams.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Throwing Nix. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
2nd and 10.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he powers his way up past the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
To throw, here's Nix.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Now it's Nix. That's taken in left side by Vele.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Now 2nd and 5. Here's Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Nix to the air. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that drive was going pretty darn well. 3 previous times, converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said, enough of that.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Motion man right, that's Pierce. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Richardson to throw. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now Richardson back to throw it.
And his throw here's incomplete.
He was looking for Michael Pittman that time.
That'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Richardson.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Back to Taylor on 1st down.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. From just shy of midfield,
Richardson
eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. The Colts on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end.
And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
So the drive will indeed continue. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Back to throw. Richardson. Over the middle, complete. That's Pierce. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard. Play action. Now Richardson.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
He's got his man. It's Pierce.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He's got the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here's 2nd and 3. Back to the air with Richardson.
Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell.
And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Now Richardson.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Richardson looking to throw this.
This is caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short.
Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it in this situation. They're down on the scoreboard. How many other opportunities are you going to get?
Yeah, I'm with you. 4th quarter, like you said, down on the scoreboard. And remember here, a field goal virtually does them no good. Gay's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there. But sometimes just take those 3 points and put them in your pocket. I just have one question for you, partner.
Okay.
Hip pocket or back pocket?
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Broncos offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
To throw is Nix.
Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. Hook up of 15 yards there. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Quick hitter here, it's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Back to the air with Nix. That's complete to Troutman, right side.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
The offense on third down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Williams trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. Operating from the gun, Nix. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Bo Nix
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Broncos have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
But defensively, didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about coming out of college. You're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Colts getting another possession here on offense.
And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Now it's Richardson. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Richardson.
Caught on the slant, and he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Alec Pierce
From 10 yards out.
And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Broncos are going to get the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics would tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
So not his arm, but hurting him with his legs. A gain of 19 on the keeper and a first down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Here's 2nd and 7.
They run it again with Williams. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now Williams. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here we go with Williams. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
Here's 1st and 10. Richardson. Pass complete to Allie Cox. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
Richardson to throw it.
He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That was one they needed to connect on. They're down, but not quite out. So you have to figure, with under 2 minutes to play, they need to hit on something in very short order.
Here comes 2nd down. Now Richardson. That is incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. Here's Richardson.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson.
Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
A little more than 40 seconds to play. Now 2nd and 10. Richardson looking to throw. That's complete to Pierce.
Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
This definitely four-down territory at this point, but a critical third down here. Looking to throw. Richardson. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
No choice but to go. Here's fourth down now. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here's Richardson to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. One last shot for Richardson. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Another one in the books for his partner. Always great to be by your side. And look, both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. And let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.